the caddy. Man, the Hellcat is like the Hellcat gotta be one of the hardest cars, and it's the wide body joint. I don't even think you can buy the Hellcat right now without it being wide body. He still got the factory exhaust on that joint though. I definitely would have that growling sounding crazy. Matter of fact, when I seen me pull out the camera, I would have hit it so you can hear that Whipple wind up, that supercharger. Alright man, what's good? Definitely was dope seeing that Hellcat. It's something about them Dodges. We like horsepower, we like hearing loud pipes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But you know, it's something about those cars right there, you know, even if you don't want to buy one, you can appreciate it. You feel what I'm saying? The Hellcat. I ain't talking about the RT. I ain't talking about the Scat Pack. Some people may say them cars is overrated, but you know, it is what it is. Like, this is the last year that they're gonna be producing the Dodge or whatever. So I was reading an article, or was it an article or a post on a website or something like that. Basically, that car is gonna be worth about $150,000. Each car is gonna have their own unique plate that's gonna be given out. I think they're gonna start taking orders for those cars like now. I think so. I think that's what they said yesterday. I was watching some of the, you know, stuff that was being posted by different people or whatever on YouTube with the cars and whatnot. But with that conversation going on, man, you know, a lot of times, you know, we put ourselves in certain situations and certain predicaments where we may be trying to do certain things like obtain cars or get the house that we want, the dream house that we've always wanted. Or we go all out for, you know, mods, or we go all out for certain jewelry or clothes, or, you know, some of the things that people, not just men, but people in general do. Was it worth me spending that hard-earned money on, you know, those things that I felt like I wanted at the time? So let's just, you know, have a real conversation, like, and let's take the Hellcat, or, you know, the Dodge Hellcat or Challenger, for example, you know, because we deal with cars over here, right? And for the most part, we talking between $50,000 and $80,000. Now that, and I'm saying $50,000 and $80,000, and that's for pre-owned, still in good condition Hellcats. But you know what I mean? Some of them are going to be pre-owned. Some of them are going to be some of them are going to be brand new. It just depends on the pricing and where you buy that. But let's just say you spend about $50,000. That's a nice house right there. You spend about $50,000 on a new car or whatever, and it's the car you want. What is that? That's a Charger right there, old school. You know what I mean? So you say you want that, you know, you want these things, and you spend this type of money on the, you know, obtain what you want. You know, that's cool. But sometimes we do these things and we don't necessarily understand that we actually can't afford what we are actually buying. So you get you a high payment, mortgage. You know, you may want a beautiful home. The mortgage may be around $1,500 a month, depending on where you live at in the country. It could go anywhere $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. You know what I mean? Let's just say you're paying about $1,500 to $2,000 a month for a mortgage, or $1,100 for that Hellcat that you wanted, or that C8 Corvette that you wanted. But you only bring it home, you know, you may be making like $20-some an hour. You bring it home, let's just say after taxes and insurance and stuff like that, you bring it home like $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 or so, $1,800, just depending on how much you make it, anywhere between $1,200 and $1,800. Let's just stay there. And that's for people that's making like $20 on up to like upwards of $24, close to $25 an hour. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, you're taking away $1,100 off the bat just for the Hellcat, just for the car. And even if you leasing it, your insurance is going to be high as well. So it's not like you just, you know, oh, I'm leasing it, I'm not buying it, so I'm only paying like $659, $700 a month with A1 credit to lease this car. That's cool and that's true, but you still got a high insurance payment, right? So, I mean, you basically, one of your checks is going towards your car. For kids that are, you know, in their 20s, 19, you know, that's getting these type of cars and they don't have any kids, they may still stay with their parents, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't have any kids and your parents are allowing you to still stay there, that's something that I feel like should be going on. But for somebody that has a whole entire family and a house mortgage, so, you know, we got $1,000 for the Hellcat. I'm rounding that off. I'm being very generous with it, saying $1,000. And that's including insurance. All right. And then you have your house payment. Now, what type of house are you living in? Are you living in an apartment? The average cost of rent where I'm at is like $1,000, and that's cheap compared to what's going on all across the country. Now, you have some people paying like $1,500 for rent. My sister, she's staying in a nice apartment down in Houston. I mean, it's real nice. It's a nice place. You got to get through a gate to go in it and everything. It has a workout facility on the grounds. All of that. It's real. It's a dope spot. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you just because it's my sister. It's a dope spot. But with that being said, so, you know, somewhere like that, you paying like $1,500. So now we're talking about $2,500 between your living, where you got to live at, pay for your apartment or your house mortgage or whatever, and you got this insurance plus car note. So we talking about like between $2,000 and $2,500, depending on where you stay. If you stay where I'm at, or we stay in Houston, right? $2,500. Now, I just said, you know, you bring your home about between $1,200 and $1,800. So let's go to the lower side, $1,200. So you get paid twice a month. That's $2,400, man. $2,400. You can't afford a Hellcat, buddy. Let's just say on the high end, let's say you're making the $25 an hour and you bring home $1,800 every 2 weeks, right? After taxes and everything else you may pay. Or even if you bring home $4,000, that means you have $1,500 left over to survive off of for an entire month. You may have kids and, you know, whatever other expenses you got, but you got $1,500 to live off of because you spent $200 to $2,500 on a car plus your house. That's a lot of money, man. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get a Hellcat because, you know, I'm a car enthusiast and I've been just sitting around thinking about cars that I want. You know, I want to collect some cars too. The Hellcat is definitely a car that I really feel like would be a great investment for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like it'd be a great investment for me. It's kind of like back in the day, like it's like the GTO to our grandfathers and our fathers, or the Chevelle SS to our grandfathers and fathers. You know what I mean? They had these cars at one time, and a lot of guys sold the cars and they wish they would have kept them, but they had no idea they would be worth what they are worth today. With that being said, you know, like I said at the beginning of the video, they're saying that this Hellcat is gonna be worth over $100,000 eventually if you hold on to it and keep it. And I don't think that it's gonna take that long for the Hellcat to actually reach those prices. So there's a way that you can, there's several ways that you can possibly get this car without, you know, putting yourself in a whole lot of debt. But we're gonna keep talking about the cars, but you know, at the end of the day, if you are humble enough to know that it's gonna take you some time, first of all, that's the first thing you gotta realize, is that this ain't gonna happen for you overnight. It's not. Secondly, you gotta understand that you can obtain these things. I'm not saying even if you're making amounts of money that I aforementioned when we first started talking. This is a dead end. All right, so with that being said, there's a way that you can obtain all of these things you want. Now, a lot of people are going to auctions, buying wrecked Hellcats. I don't necessarily suggest you do that. I suggest you grind out, save your money, do some Uber Eats if you got to, Amazon Flex a little bit on the side if you got to, but do whatever you need to do to try to secure a bag and go ahead and purchase you a Hellcat. Even if you only save up enough money for half. So, you know, say you save up your money, you probably can find you one. If you look hard enough, you probably can find one for about $50,000. I really ain't a big fan of just saying I'm gonna just get the Scat Pack. I'd rather just get the Hellcat. The Hellcat is gonna be the one. I'm telling you, like, if I ain't ever told y'all nothing else about cars, this is something that I know from history. The Hellcat is the one. The Scat Pack is cool. The Scat Pack is gonna continue to hold its value, but the value of that Hellcat, I mean, in all the Hellcats, I ain't just talking about the Charger. I'm talking about the Challenger, the Durango, as well as the Trackhawk. All of those cars that got that supercharger in there, all of those cars gonna hold their value. They're gonna be worth a lot of money. So if I'm gonna save, you know what I mean, I'm gonna budget, I'm gonna be real frugal. I ain't gonna be doing no, you know, crazy spend. I can get it. You can get it. Get your credit right. Work on your credit while you're saving your money. That way you can get a low interest. Give yourself a little time. You got plenty of, like if you start now, you have plenty of time to save your money and get the Hellcat. If you want the 2023, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about 2023. If you want the newest Hellcat, the one that's coming out this year, and I ain't saying, I don't know which model you may want. A lot of people, you know, have been talking about the Jailbreak. There's a couple other ones supposed to be coming out. They haven't even really revealed all of the ideas and all of the other stuff that they got coming out with the new Hellcat. So if you want to grab a Hellcat 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, whatever, just save your money, man, and you can make that happen. I'm telling you, like, you can reach that goal. And I'm gonna show y'all how it's done. Like, you know, with time given, I'll be able to show y'all how it's done, how you can save it, and how you can not put yourself in a whole bunch of debt. Because really, who wants to be in debt $70,000, $80,000 for a car? Realistically, who wants to have that much debt on their credit? And I'm talking about working people. I'm not talking about somebody who's, you know, well off and can afford it. I'm just saying somebody that goes to work, punches the clock, has a family, but deserves to actually have, you know, something that they want, whether it's a car, a chain, or whatever it is that you feel like you desire, the big house that you desire, whatever. But like I said, we're talking about cars right now. So for the car guys that feel like, you know, this is my one chance to try to get me a piece of history, this is what I want, how do I get this car? It's so expensive. The car is worth more than I make a year. You know, some guys might be looking at it like that. You got to save your money, man. You got to get your credit right. You got to be patient, but you got to be consistent and dedicated to whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you set a goal for yourself, I'm going to save half of my check every week. I'm going to put half of my paycheck in a different savings account. That's what you need to do. If you're single, meal prep. You know, meal prep is one of the cheapest ways to eat. I meal prep every day because I work out, but I'm just saying, I'm here to tell you that meal prepping is way cheaper than just eating regular, like just, oh, what's for dinner tonight? What's for dinner tonight is way more expensive than I already got a meal in the refrigerator. Stop drinking so much. Stop smoking so much. Cut back on some of them squares, you know what I mean? Like, discipline yourself, man, to actually reach the goals that you want to reach. And hell, who knows, by the time you save up the money for the Hellcat, you may change your mind and you may want to get something else and buy you a couple of rental properties, investment properties and stuff like that, and then come back after you do take the equity out of your rental properties or something and use some of that money to actually cop the Hellcat. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different ways to obtain the things that you want, man, but just remember that's going to take patience, and it's definitely going to take some consistency, and you got to humble yourself, man. I hope y'all enjoy these videos, man. I'm out here at Chase's practice. I'm about to get out the truck. It's a little hot, and I ain't have my AC on because I got to turn it all the way up. It's messed up in there. I got to change that. The F-150 is falling apart, y'all. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have. I mean, no, I'm gonna have this truck. I just don't know how much longer I'm gonna wait and hold out until I get another car. When I'm talking about Hellcats and stuff like that, though, man. I'm just really trying to hold out on spending any money on another car until I pay Matt for putting the motor and stuff together and doing my frame and stuff. I want to make sure I got his money, because when my car is done, I want to pull it up out of there. Now, as far as the Monte Carlo go, I did talk to Matt yesterday, and I'm gonna go out there and shoot a video after Chase's game Saturday, take some pictures of the car and stuff like that, and the frame will be painted so y'all can see all of that, man, and give y'all the update on that. That'll be in the next, probably the next 1 or 2 uploads. Y'all be seeing that for sure, man. But I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in, man. I'm gonna go out here and talk to my son. I told y'all we're gonna keep talking about finances as it's related to cars and housing and everything else, man, and get it in, man. It's your boy Super Sport Rob. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe again, and click that notification bell so you get notified each and every time I upload new content.